here on the Louisiana Hayride. His name is Hank Williams, the drifting cowboy.
On the Crandle Opry, Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys.
Hi, this is Emmylou Harris.
Hi, folks. This is Sam Bush.
Hello, this is Odetta.
This is Joan Baez, and you're listening to the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
And now, gather the family around and sit back in your easy chair. It's time again for the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour, our worldwide celebration of grassroots music. Let's welcome folk singer Michael Jonathan.
Sometimes you love someone so much that you need a song that will describe them as a beautiful artistic masterpiece. That's what this song is. And she paints me like Vincent in the rain, and she brushes all my tears away. She's a brilliant song by Monet, and she chases my blues away on her canvas made of clay in the midnight rain. Now she's dreaming like Vincent all alone, carved in stone by Michelangelo. She's a portrait of love by Cézanne in colors of Paul Gauguin, and she's lost in the south of France in the midnight rain. In the shadow of eternity's gate, on her canvas made of clay, in the midnight rain. In the shadow of eternity's gate, in the midnight rain. And she paints me
WoodSongs is presented in part by our family of WoodSongs partners. Visit Lex.com and by the Kentucky Department of Tourism, inviting people from all over the world to visit our lakes, mountains, parks, sports, music, and art festivals, and more. You can explore everything Kentucky has to offer your family vacation online at KentuckyTourism.com. And by the Martin Guitar Company, building handcrafted guitars for professionals and front porch pickers since 1833. Online at martinguitars.com.
And welcome everybody, to the beautiful and historic Lyric Theater here in our hometown of Lexington, Kentucky. We are broadcasting all over the world, from Australia to Ireland, New Zealand to New York, Yuma, Arizona to the Yukon, across Canada, everywhere, that we're celebrating this wonderful, magical world of acoustic grassroots music of all kinds. It's folk and blues, bluegrass, country, Celtic, old-timey, new singer-songwriters. We celebrate the music of our front porch, your front porches all over the world, and we say it every single week. You don't have to be famous to be on WoodSongs. You just have to be very, very good. And that is the case of both of the artists that we're introducing you on this broadcast tonight. Plus, we have an amazing WoodSongs kid, so let's get to it. He is a legacy singer-songwriter in the world of bluegrass music and roots music. He's got several hit songs in the bluegrass world, and we're very glad that he could be here today to introduce music from his new album. Here's an album called Small Town Dreamer. It's a great song called Transistor Radio. Remember them? Please welcome Daryl Mosley to the WoodSongs Old Time Radio.
It fit right in my pocket. I took it everywhere. Just place it on the window. The reception's better there. I ran my thumb across it till the station came in clear. Then I'd sing right along to the sounds that I would hear. Well, I couldn't see their faces, but I sure knew the tunes. I'd sing out loud and play pretend guitar on Mama's broom. It drew me like a lighthouse with its tiny amber glow. The best friend of my childhood, my transistor radio. From the Opry down in Nashville to the Ozark Jubilee, to the new sounds out of Motown, it all sounded good to me. Well, I sang along with Elvis and played with Bill Monroe on the stage in my bedroom and my transistor radio. Well, I learned to hear the harmony in church and Sunday school, but I practiced with Aretha when she belted Chain of Fools. And early in the morning, if I tuned it in just right, I could hear that banjo picking, baking right with Martha White. Well, it's been so many years since those magic boyhood nights. Today I get my music beaming down from satellite. But it never quite feels like it did in those days long ago, when I heard it for the first time on that little radio. From the Opry down in Nashville to the Ozark Jubilee, to the new sounds out of Motown, it all sounded good to me. Well, I sang along with Elvis and played with Bill Monroe on the stage in my bedroom and my transistor radio. Yeah, I sang along with Elvis and played with Bill Monroe on the stage in my bedroom and my transistor radio.
Good song. From his album Small Town Dreamer, Transistor Radio is the tune. Daryl Mosley, are we dating ourselves just a little bit by...
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Did you actually have a transistor radio when you were...
I did. You know, I'm one of those that grew up in the days before the technological advances. And so, you know, for those of us that grew up with 3 TV channels and the local FM, transistor radio was your only window to the outside world. You'd wait till after dark and tune in those AM stations and it'd take you there.
Kids today just don't know the brilliance of AM fuzz, you know.
That's right, you know.
Yeah, and the media world is really, really changing a lot. I mean, the internet has really changed the way people listen to music and find music and stuff. But you've done quite well. We're going to brag on you a little bit. You've multiple times won Songwriter of the Year in the bluegrass world. You've got many, many #1 songs. It's nice to be recognized by the community that you're part of, right?
Yeah, especially, I mean, those are a lot of those are friends, but they're peers and they're heroes, you know, some really great, talented songwriters I'm blessed to call my friends. And so, you know, when you get accolades that, you know, those guys have to write your name in, that means a lot.
Yeah. What advice do you give young performers that are trying to make their way in a world where, I mean, let's face it, there's no record store chains left. There's no place to put a CD. A lot of artists are writing songs but not releasing it because on a physical CD anymore because there's no place to put it. You know, there's no store shelves to put a CD on anymore. I mean, what advice do you give them in this new atmosphere of the music world?
Well, there's lots of places you can put songs now that we didn't have the luxury of because of the internet. I say you got to do it for the love of the music. I mean, it's got to be about the songs for you. It can't be about the fame or the attention or the notoriety or anything. You've got to do it for the love of actually creating something that means something to you.
You know, we say it often on WoodSongs, love is the greatest transaction of the arts. You've got to put that fast and forward. There's also a reason folk rhymes with broke. So you put the two together and you have a career, right?
Right.
You were with several successful bands. You were with the group New Tradition for a while. Then you played with the Osborne Brothers. What was that like?
That was great. Bobby and Sonny Osborne were, are legends in the industry, and they became almost like father figures to me. They were wonderful to me, great guys, and it's still hard for me to believe I'm living on a planet that doesn't include them anymore.
I know, right? Well, Rocky Top lives on forever.
Always, forever, yeah.
And then from the Osborne Brothers, you formed a band called the Farmhands, which were really excellent group of guys, great players. So forming these bands, that's a lot of work to do this thing we call playing, right?
It was, and I enjoyed my time in the band. I actually started out doing solo in 2019 because I just really wanted to focus on the creative process a lot more. For me, it really is all about, I told a number of people, when I realized that I'm not a singer who writes songs, I'm a songwriter who also sings, it changes your perspective. And so it was really more about being able to focus more attention just on the writing process.
And as a solo performer, you're kind of like doing as many shows now as a solo performer as you did with a band, right?
Yeah, I do about 150 concerts a year. I drive about 5,000 miles a month, and but I still love it, to get to an opportunity to sing a song that you wrote and see it connect with somebody. You can't put a value on that.
And it's nice meeting the audience. I mean, anymore, the artists do need to be physically in front of an audience in order to be able to sell the T-shirts and the CDs and stuff now, right? So doing that many shows, I mean, that's a lot of work, but you have to do it.
Well, you have to sometimes make a living out of quantity as opposed to quality, and so some of the places you play are small and the crowds are small, but they're just as appreciative, and the opportunity to kind of look them in the eye and share those songs and have them come up later and say, man, I get that. That's my story. That I relate to that. That means everything to me. Something
that a lot of the audience may not connect with, but it's not easy being on the road. It's nice being on the stage. Dan Fogelberg, I thought, said it best. The audience is heavenly, but the traveling is hell. How do you deal with the loneliness of being out there constantly like that?
I've never really felt that to a great deal. I guess, me and Willie Nelson are kind of, kindred spirits when it comes to that. I love the road, and, I travel usually alone, so I find lots of, museums and baseball games and things to see and do while I'm out on the road, and it's still an adventure to me. After 30 plus years, I still love it.
He's still working. He's still got that drive to put out new music. This is an album called A Life Well Lived. The song is When We Were Boys. It's Daryl Mosley on the WoodSongs, Old Time Radio.
When we were boys, the world was our backyard. It was comic books, pen knives, and baseball cards. Hide and seek and tug of war, race you to the candy store. We didn't know what girls were for back when we were boys. When we were boys, we'd sleep out neath the stars, trade bottles in 4 nickel candy bars, floating on an inner tube, skipping rocks, bending rules. Oh, the things we got into back when we were boys. We didn't realize we had it made, with a cane pole and a best friend in the shade. Supper on the stove, no bills to pay. I wish I could go back just one more day. When we were boys, we'd slam that old screen door. Each day brought new adventures to explore. Stay out till the sun was gone, till street lights started coming on. Mom would holler, y'all come home, back when we were boys. We didn't realize we had it made, with a cane pole and a best friend in the shade. supper on the stove, no bills to pay. I wish I could go back just one more day. When we were boys, we dreamed of being grown, but we would have chased that thought if we had known. Mom and Dad still young and strong, everyone was safe at home. In just a blink, it all was gone, back when we were boys.
Well-constructed song. Daryl Mosley from his album A Life Well Lived. When We Were Boys is the name of the song. If you want to know more about the music of Daryl Mosley, if you want to get to watch what you're hearing on the radio, you visit the WoodSongs website. This is show number 1102, and you can be able to enjoy Daryl Mosley's performance as well as our next artist, a great band that's coming from the mountains of West Virginia. They're here to introduce songs from their album Ain't Love Something. This is a tune called Hickory Ridge. Please welcome Crandle Creek to the WoodSongs Old Time Radio.
Way up on the mountain, high on Hickory Ridge, been living in that cabin since I was just a kid, and I ain't never leaving the way my daddy did. Mama never told me why Daddy went away. He must have had his reasons why he wouldn't stay, and I never got to meet him. A price I've had to pay. Way up on the mountain, high on Hickory Ridge, been living in that cabin since I was just a kid, and I ain't never leaving the way my daddy did. And I ain't never leaving the way my daddy did.
From a wonderful album called Ain't Love Something. Hickory Ridge is the name of the song. Crandle Creek. Let's say hi to Jerry Andrews, the guitar player and founding member. That's a fine group you got there. Now, how hard was it to put this bunch of fine folk together? 6 of you in all.
Well, we've been at it for a while, and they're from 4 different states, so it took a little bit of maneuvering around to get everybody into one spot, but we finally managed to do it.
Now, you're from Moundsville, West Virginia, correct?
Yes, sir.
So now is everybody located there, or do you Zoom your practices in?
Well, we try to get together as much as we can. We're within about a 60-mile radius, except for Steve, the fiddle player. He's from down southern West Virginia, so he's about 4 hours away. So we try to meet somewhere in the middle, maybe Elkins, West Virginia, to work a practice in. And that's how we put it.
So you really have to love what you're doing to go through. I mean, it's a lot. Sometimes when the effort to practice is more intense than the practice itself to get everybody together. So, I mean,
Yes.
so let's say hi to the vocalist and the rookie of the group, Carly Greer.
Hello.
So you, where are you from originally?
I'm from Wheeling, West Virginia,
You're from
so I'm
Wheeling.
actually his neighbor.
You're actually his
Yes,
neighbor,
I'm
okay.
just north.
So was bluegrass, singing in a bluegrass band, something that you aspired to, or did you want to do more of a commercial country thing, which nothing wrong with that either?
I love all music. I actually started writing pop songs right when the pandemic started, and then I went over to country, and then I was all over the place really until I wrote a song where I needed a banjo, and our banjo player that we asked to come cut the song with us never showed up. And on that same day, I got a call from a band called Crandle Creek that said, "Would you ever want to join a bluegrass band?" And I was like, "Well, I'm waiting for a banjo player right now. If he doesn't show up, I'll call you back." So my mom made him dinner and everything. He never showed. And I invited these guys. They eat all the time.
You know, as hard as it is for a banjo player to get a date, I can't imagine that he would stand up such a lovely singing person. Matter of fact, for the radio, for the sake of the radio audience, I want the cameras to go zoom in on her boots. I want the radio audience to see these boots here. So let's go back to Jerry now. Recreate the moment when you called up Carly to join the band. I mean, did you know? Were you familiar with her already?
Our producer also produced Carly, and when we were looking for a lead singer,
so you had a nice connection.
Yes. And Jamie said, I know a girl. And I said, okay. I said, can we get an interview with her? And he said, sure, come to the studio. I'll have Carly come up. And so we did a couple songs together, and I mean, it took no time till we realized that this was going to work. This was going to gel. Felt like she had been there. Felt like I'd known her forever. None of us are related. Although
That's not true, Jerry. You're my great-great-great-great-grandfather. Look, watch. We look alike, don't we?
And that's what the band is like. That's what it's like.
I think I'm learning as I'm standing here. So, Carly, was it hard for you to go from being a pop singer-writer, and then the pandemic hits, you change directions to country music, which is sort of a commercialized type sound. Then you get the call to join a bluegrass band. I mean, was that a hard vocal transition for you? What did you have to listen to figure out the texture of singing in a bluegrass song is a lot different than a pop song?
Well, I will say I've always had a love for bluegrass because my grandfather actually has 16 brothers. I know that's pretty crazy. They went until they had a girl.
Maybe we should be talking about the mother.
I know, right? But they loved bluegrass, and so that's all they did was sit around and play.
So you were
bluegrass.
exposed to it already.
I've been exposed to it, yes, and I love like Patti Loveless. I'm obsessed with like Molly Tuttle now and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, Molly is like
yeah,
amazing,
she's wonderful.
right? Billy Strings in a dress.
Yes,
She's totally amazing. Dustin Terpenning, I hope I said that right. He's the banjo player, since we're talking about banjo players.
Thank you.
Speaking for banjo players everywhere, I mean, what opinion do you have of the banjo player that stood Carly up?
I don't know what to think of that guy, really. I don't understand it. I can't put that into words. I'm sorry, Michael.
Well, we'll figure that out as we go through the hour. They're a wonderful band. They've got an album called Ain't Love Something. This is a great tune called Pieces. Welcome to the back. It's Crandle Creek on the WoodSongs, Old Time Radio.
There's a girl way down south. She's been played without a doubt. There's a place beneath the ground. She's gonna lay somebody's down. There's no way to save their souls where they decay. No one will know. Cypress trees, New Orleans, gator meat, that's what they'll be. He was always a bad man. He was messing with her best friend. She was always his weakness. Now they're both in pieces. Hey! On the day she found out, she knew she had to take him out. Found a boat, took a ride. Now they've crossed to the other side. He was always a bad man. He was messing with her best friend. She was always his weakness. Now they're both in pieces. Hey! She was wronged, so they're gone, and they only live inside their song. Take them away, boys.
Nice banjo work from Dustin Treppenning. Great blues licks on the banjo. From their album Ain't Love Something Pieces is the song Crandle Creek, all the way from West Virginia. We've also got the amazing singer-songwriter Daryl Mosley. He'll be introducing more songs from his new album in the second half hour. And wait till you meet this week's WoodSongs kid. We will be back right after this.
You're listening to WoodSong Show number 1102, broadcasting around the world by the foothills of Appalachia in Lexington, Kentucky. If you would like to attend a WoodSongs broadcast, you can find reservation and show schedules on our website, woodsongs.com. We'll be back after the break with Daryl Mosley, Crandle Creek, and our amazing WoodSongs kid on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour. WoodSongs is presented in part by the Kentucky Department of Tourism and Visit Lex.com, welcoming families from all over the world to celebrate Lexington's 250th anniversary year and attend a broadcast in historic Lexington, Kentucky. WoodSongs is an all-volunteer run celebration of grassroots music, providing a multimedia front porch for musicians and artists worldwide.
Hi, this is John McEwen, and you're listening to folk singer Michael Jonathan and the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
And thank you, John McEwen there, founding member of the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, great bluegrass artist. He'll be on WoodSongs in a few weeks. We're very glad that you guys could be joining us from all over the world on over 500 radio stations, stations like Big Cabbage Radio in Palmer, Alaska, the 11 stations across Virginia on WVFT. We're on KASU in Jonesboro, Arkansas. We're on all sorts of radio stations. We want to say hi to all those folks that are out there tuning in. We're also on American Forces Radio Network. It puts this show on the radio, 2 different channels in 177 nations, from South Korea all the way to Kuwait, plus every single military base in the world, every U.S. naval ship in the world, every Coast Guard vessel sailing in North America gets to hear WoodSongs every single weekend. As always, we want to say hello to the men and women that are out there, and the fans, the public that gets to tune in and hear WoodSongs, bring a little piece of America's front porch worldwide. We're on public television, coast to coast. We're on the RFD television network nationwide. We're in schools as well, which is why we invite a youngster to come on our broadcast. This time, every single broadcast, kids come from all over the place to be on WoodSongs. We call them WoodSongs Kids, and this week we want to welcome 11-year-old Ryder Bryant. Ryder, how you doing?
Good.
So, Ryder, you're here with a couple friends. Clyde is playing guitar and Matt's playing mandolin. You like to sing, don't you?
Yeah.
So how long have you been, singing?
Well, I started getting voice lessons in April.
Of this year? And you're on
last year.
Oh, last year. Oh, well, that makes you more of a pro, right? So that's not too long to be doing. Now you must be really good, because all of a sudden you're on a big national broadcast like this, right? So do you practice a lot?
Well, yeah, I have singing lessons every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. So when you're home, do you sing for your family as well? Do they make a good audience for you?
Yeah.
So what kind of songs do you like to sing?
Bluegrass and country.
Ah, so if Carly doesn't work out with Crandle Creek, you could maybe take over, right? Would you like to be in a band, or do you like singing by yourself?
Well, sometimes I sing for, at the MAC, there's a band called the Possum Up a Gum Stump, and we went to a festival.
And you got to sing there, right? Now,
yeah.
I'm going to let the audience know, you're a good Kentucky girl from eastern Kentucky, the Appalachian Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
And you live in an area where a lot of great singers and songwriters came from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Chris Stapleton,
yeah,
right? And
Loretta Lynn.
Loretta Lynn. Now, you're going to do a Loretta Lynn song for us, right?
Yeah.
What is it about this song that you like?
Well, I done a Loretta Lynn tourism, and I just looked at a bunch of Loretta Lynn songs, and I really liked this one.
You like this one, right? This kind of speaks to you, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and let you go ahead and sing it. You're Looking at Country is the name of her song, and you're going to interpret a Loretta Lynn song for us, right? Who's from the area that you live in, right? She came from there. All right, Ryder Bryan, 11 years old, this week's WoodSongs Kid.
Well, like my loving on country style, and this little girl will walk the country mile to find her a good old slow-talking country boy. Said a country boy, well, I'm about old-fashioned as I can be, and I hope you like what you see. If you're looking at me, you're looking at country. You don't see no city when you're looking at me, 'cause country is all I am. Love running barefooted through the old cornfields, and I love that country ham. Well, you say I'm made just to fit your plan, but does a barnyard show fit your hands? If your eyes are on me, you're looking at country. Well, this here country is a little green, and there's a whole lot of country country that you ain't seen. I'll show you around if you show me a wedding band. I said a wedding band. When it comes to love, well, I know about that. Country folks don't know where it's at. If your eyes are on me, you're looking at country. You don't see no city when you're looking at me, 'cause country is all I am. I love running barefooted through the old cornfields, and I love that country hand. Well, you say I'm made just to fit your plan, but does a barnyard shovel fit your hands? If your eyes are on me, you're looking at country. If your eyes are on me, you're looking at country.
Not bad for 11 years old. The pride of Crandall in Floyd County, Eastern Kentucky. Want to give props to Clyde Porter on the guitar, Matt Schofield playing mandolin. For this week's WoodSongs kid, Ryder Bryant. Good job, Ryder. We love our WoodSongs kids. There's a reason that we want to introduce them to the music of our front porches. This is the grandest, safest stage in the world, is your own front porch for these children. And so we like to invite them on our broadcast and be able to sing and play and show how wonderful and amazing a lot of these kids are. If you've got a youngster that you think belongs on WoodSongs, if you're the parent or guardian, we would love to hear from you. You just send us a little email. You can connect with us on the WoodSongs website and click on the kids page, and then maybe you can become the next WoodSongs kid, kind of like Daryl Mosley sitting here, ready to play a song for us from his album, Small Town Dreamer, I Can't Go Home Anymore. Daryl Mosley on the WoodSongs, Old Time Radio.
A little wood frame house on a quiet street, the centerpiece of all my childhood memories. I drive that way every now and then to remember where I came from and who I've been. I turn down that old familiar blacktop. I slow down, but I don't stop. The little house where I was raised surely seen its better days, and somehow looks much smaller than before. But Daddy's gone and Mama too. It's lived in by somebody new. Strangers locked behind our old screen door. Well, I still go back, but I can't go home anymore. I wish I'd known way back then just how fast time gets here, then it's gone again. One day I'm there with my folks inside, and the next I'm just a stranger slowly driving by. You might just see shingles, windows, walls, and doors, oh, but to me it's so much more. The little house where I was raised surely seen its better days, and somehow looks much smaller than before. But Daddy's gone and Mama too. It's lived in by somebody new. Strangers locked behind our old screen door. Well, I still go back, but I can't go home anymore. The backyard where we tossed the ball till Mama said supper's ready, y'all. Then we joined hands and Daddy thanked the Lord. The bedroom where I dared to dream of places I had never seen, a great big world that called me to explore, and brought me back full circle to this door. Well, I still go back, but I can't go home anymore. Yes, I still go back, but I can't go home anymore.
Beautiful song from his album Small Town Dreamer, I Can't Go Home Anymore. Daryl, a lot of your songs are about hometowns, rural communities, neighbors. I mean, a lot of your themes center on that, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's where I grew up. I still live in a little town, Waverly, Tennessee, Humphreys County, Tennessee, where I grew up. And, we're far enough removed from Nashville that it's not super convenient to drive in every day. So it's not your typical bedroom community. So some of the changes that have happened in the suburbs, we're still a decade or two behind. The pace is still a little slower, and I kind of like it that way.
One of the songs that you're very popular about is a song about Mayberry and the brilliance of small rural communities and really how much I think America aches for that part of itself that it's kind of lost a little bit of.
Yeah, I think that's true. A lot of us that are raised in small towns kind of compare it to Mayberry, and it seems like that most people either relate to it personally or they have a longing for that, that connection that way.
And when you hear young kids like young Ryder Bryant, 11 years old, singing these songs, she's from Deep Hollow, Eastern Kentucky, which is a gorgeous part of America that very misunderstood because nobody really has been through there very much. And yet so much art and music comes from these small hometown, these rural communities.
Yeah, it's a part of our culture, those of us that are raised that way, and it's important, I guess, that we pass it down. It's something that's passed down through our churches and through our families, and most of us who play that come from that area had somebody in their family that also played that kind of got us started, and it just kind of passes down that way.
That's the beauty of that front porch stage that
Absolutely.
We talk about. Your music definitely touches on all that. As you have a very singer-songwriter style versus a bluegrass player. Where Tony Rice, if he performed solo, he'd be flat picking, 1,000 miles an hour. But you have a more sensitive approach to your music, kind of as more of a singer-songwriter finger-picking style.
Well, I wasn't real. I mean, I was raised up around bluegrass. I didn't start playing it until I was grown, But I was already, as a young person, as learning, I was drawn to the singer-songwriters, the John Denvers and the folks like that. Even Jackson Brown and some of the other pop stuff that was telling stories and helping me understand. I remember buying Billy Joel's 52nd Street album, and through it, I had a little bit of an idea of what it must be like living in New York. And growing up in a little town in Tennessee, I wouldn't get that any other way.
Sure.
So if I can do that, if there's somebody in New York that has a little better understanding of what it's like to live in rural Tennessee, then I'm glad I can do that.
And you touched on something that I certainly believe in, the family nature of music and kids being influenced by what they see, by what they hear the grown-ups in their life perform and play. I mean, and folk music, especially bluegrass, is uniquely suited to mentor young kids. And you see that a lot in bluegrass. Some of the greatest music in the world doesn't happen on the main stages. It's the campgrounds and the parking lots of these bluegrass festivals. And in it, usually there's a bunch of kids out there picking and singing with the grown-ups.
Yeah, well.
Doing a
Some of them playing really well. That's one of the things I love about the bluegrass community is that oftentimes you'll see a young kid that walks up, to even, the biggest names in our industry holding an instrument. And they'll say, let me show you something, or they'll give them a pick, or they'll say, hold it this way. And it's this natural desire to pass this music along. Yeah. It's a part of the fabric of the music.
One of the original WoodSongs kids on our show was a little 10-year-old girl named Sierra Hall, jamming with Sam Bush on the air at 10 years old, So but there's a lot of kids, Wyatt Ellis and a bunch of others that are coming up like that. I'm going to brag on you a little bit before we get into the next song that you're going to do. Every songwriter wants to get their stuff played, especially as soundtracks on TVs and movies. And you've been pretty successful at that. You had your songs played on American Idol, The 700 Club, RFD TV, Martha Stewart's Living. The one I didn't quite understand was America's Most Wanted.
Well, some of those musician stories. No,
I was kind of like, what did you write that suited that?
For whatever reason, sometimes the TV shows will take bits and pieces of songs and just insert them into the programs. And they typically do that without notifying us, artists or writers. And I'll never forget one night sitting in the living room with my family, and my children are watching the Cartoon Network, and the credits are rolling, and they're playing a song that I wrote, and my children were not impressed, but I'm like, that's my song. That's how I found out it was on there.
That's a lot of fun. I love it. He's going to play the title cut of his album, A Life Well Lived. It is Daryl Mosley on the WoodSongs, Old Time Radio.
He was peeling an apple, sitting in the shade, eating those green slices right off the blade. Grandpa was what you might say a quiet man, but there was so much wisdom neath that farmer's tan. I said, I want to be just like you when I'm grown. He handed me an apple, said, this is all I know. Choose the road less traveled every time you can. Try to find the good things in your fellow man. Never hesitate to stand up for the weak, and the bigger man's the one who turns the other cheek. If you can say I'm sorry and learn how to forgive, well then you've had a life well lived. Wealth is not determined by what you possess. You know a dollar bill won't buy you happiness. Take time to show others just how much you care, 'cause love is something you have plenty of to share. No one else can tell you what your life is worth. Just thank God for the blessings of each day upon the earth, and choose the road less traveled every time you can. Try to find the good things in your fellow man. Never hesitate to stand up for the weak, and the bigger man's the one who turns the other cheek. If you can say I'm sorry and learn how to forgive, well then you've had a life well lived. Then you've had a life well lived.
Thank you so much. Beautiful song. Title cut from his album, A Life Well Lived. And they're here from West Virginia. They're going to do a great song from Ain't Life Something. We got a lot of life songs going on in this show. Love is a Thrill. This is Crandle Creek on the WoodSongs, Old Time Radio.
The nerve to ride my new spider bike down old breakneck hill. My knees were knocking as I held on tight. I thought I might be killed. That wind was whipping through my long brown hair. As I picked up speed, I screamed bloody murder when I lost control and wiped out in the weeds. Oh, crash and burn. Some say I'll never learn, and I don't think I ever will, 'cause I just love the thrill. Good-looking guys. Whew. I had me a fling, but he called me baby and he drove me crazy. Who says I need a ring? Oh, crash and burn. Some say I'll never learn, and I don't think I ever will, 'cause I just love the thrill. If I ever had a chance to do it over, knowing about the price I'd have to pay, just get back up and do it all again. Oh, crash and burn. Some say I'll never learn. And I don't think I ever will, 'cause I just love the thrill. Oh, crash and burn. Some say I'll never learn. And I don't think I ever will, 'cause I just love the thrill. I just love the thrill.
Love the Thrill, a great song from Ain't Love Something, Crandle Creek on our broadcast. And let's acknowledge again, Jerry Andrews is playing guitar. Carly Greer is the lead vocalist. We have Dustin Trepenning, who we've already talked to on the amazing banjo. Sav Nelson in the back playing that upright bass, doing a great job. Kathy Wigman-Lesnock is another one of the vocalists, and we have to give some props to Steve Accord playing the fiddle, who has to drive 4 hours just to go to a rehearsal with the band, as we learned in the first half hour. So Jerry, it's a wonderful group, and putting it together, I'm sure, was a lot of heart and work that goes into assembling a band. I mean, we talked to Daryl. He's done that a few times, and it's a lot of work to do this thing we call playing, isn't it?
It really is. It truly is. And we also run a foundation out of our band. We give away a college scholarship every year out of our band through the foundation, and a youngster like this over here will be eligible when she goes to college to apply for that scholarship, and we're giving back to a community that's been great to us.
The Bluegrass Music Endeavors Foundation.
Yes.
Well, that's a wonderful thing that you guys are doing. I love it.
We believe in the education. We really do.
Well, that's why WoodSongs is in schools, and we love working with folks like Crandle Creek. You're going to do another song from your album, Ain't Love Something. This is a great tune called Fast Train, Crandle Creek on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
Well, there's a fast train coming to carry him away. Yeah, there's a fast train coming to carry him away. It's taking my baby out of town. I just wish that he would stay. She's burning coal, spitting fire, black smoke rising in the sky. She's burning coal, spitting fire, black smoke rising in the sky. He never even turned to look at me when he said goodbye. It's the sound of her mighty wheels grinding on the rails. When she pulls into the station, there's a letter in the mail telling me he's coming on the next train into town. That engineer, he shakes his head, no letter to be found. Well, I moved up on the mountain, left that city life behind. Yeah, I moved up on the mountain, left that city life behind. Even when I close my eyes and dream, I still hear that whistle cry. 'Cause it's the sound of her mighty wheels grinding on the rails. When she pulls into the station, is there a letter in the mail telling me he's coming on the next train into town? That engineer, he shakes his head, no letter to be found. Sure. Well, there's a fast train coming.
Wasn't it great having Crandle Creek on our broadcast? This week's WoodSongs kid, 11-year-old Ryder Brian, 11 years old. Good job, Ryder. And the amazing songwriter Daryl Mosley. Was such an honor to have him here. There's so many great and wonderful artists that come on WoodSongs, and the reason that we do this, you know, WoodSongs is all volunteer run. For those that are listening out there in the audience, maybe you don't realize this, but every crew member that belongs on WoodSongs that makes it possible, they're all volunteers. Why do they do that? It's because we believe love is the greatest transaction of the arts. We believe love is what makes everything happen. We believe love is why these musicians pick up their instruments and play their songs. It's why little kids want to sing and play, and why parents let them do it. It's love that makes everything work, and sometimes that love gets hindered by something called critics. You know, a long time ago, a musician named Johann Sibelius said that don't worry about critics, don't pay attention to critics, because nobody ever erected a statue in honor of one. And that's very, very true, especially for those that are trying so hard to play their music and find value in it and find love and kindness. Your front porch is the most precious stage in the world. Don't worry about making a livelihood in music when it can be a very powerful part of your life. It's fueled by love. Bill Monroe said it best. This form of music makes more friends than any other form of music in the world, and that's what we want you to do. Be our friend. Tune in next week. We love you for it. My name is Michael Jonathan. I'm a folk singer. I am a song farmer, and we'll see you next week on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio. Good night.
You've been listening to WoodSongs broadcast number 1102. Michael's opening song was Vincent in the Rain from the Painter album, featuring Sharon Oler on flute. Our chief engineer is Jerome Galt. Our and TV director is Maria Clarish. Technical assistants are Brian Klausing, Eric Anderson, Dan Field, and Gavin Clark. The WoodSongs crew member of the week is Camille Harn, and our WoodSongs partner of the week is Stacy Deeks. Our show is produced with the support of the Kentucky Department of Tourism, Martin Guitars, and VisitLex.com, welcoming visitors from all over the world to Lexington, Kentucky. Special support provided by Hybrid Spring Water, Nate's Coffee, Travel Hosts Magazine, and the staff of Lyric Theater. WoodSongs to the WoodSongs Symbol are registered trademarks of Rachel Aubrey Music and distributed worldwide by the WoodSongs Radio Network and PRX, the Public Radio Exchange. For Michael Jonathan and the entire WoodSongs crew, this is Dorothy Edwards. We hope you'll join us again next week for the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour. The online version of WoodSongs is a free gift to our fans, provided by VisitLex.com and KentuckyTourism.com, inviting fans and families worldwide to attend our live broadcast tapings at the Lyric Theater in historic Lexington, Kentucky. The Encore section is next. You can support our massive online archive of shows by becoming a WoodSongs partner. It's as simple as a PayPal click on our website, woodsongs.com.
Thank you, Dorothy, and give yourselves a big hand. You guys were wonderful. We appreciate you very much. Didn't they do a good job tonight? So we're going to get straight into the encores, and in between each artist, we do have some fun things to be able to tell you about, which we're looking forward to doing. So let's start, let's go in reverse order. We'll start with Crandle Creek and have you guys perform an encore song, and then we'll go to our lovely WoodSongs kid. You did such a good job tonight, Ryder. And then we'll end the evening with Daryl Mosley.
She left home at just 18 with $100 and a youthful dream. Thought that she knew everything when she left home at just 18. Mom and Dad begged her not to go. Said you're too young to be on the road. Life will give you a heavy load when you're 18 and you're on the road. She played every honky-tonk and every local dive. Saved her money working days at the Five and Dime. Now she's singing from the Opry stage. The songs she writes are all the rage. She's thinking she might have been made, singing from the WoodSongs stage. She calls home every week or so. Thinks she wants her folks to know they were right about that heavy load. She just thought her mom and dad should know. She played every honky-tonk and every local dive. Saved her money working days at the Five and Dime. She left home at just 18 with $100 and a youthful dream. Thought that she knew everything when she left home at just 18. When she left home at just 18.
Beautiful song. And I predict that Dustin Terpenning is going to be a future banjo player of the year. I mean, he's pretty ding-dang good there. That's good. So we're going to get ready for young Miss Ryder to sing her next song. You come stand up there. You guys getting ready? While she's doing that, a couple things. The Troubadour Concert Series, a separate project from WoodSongs, but just as big. It's been around for a long time. Marty Stewart was planning on being here at the Lyric Theater this Friday. He had a little medical thing, asked us to do him a favor, and we're doing that, and he's being rescheduled for May 11th. If you have a ticket for Marty Stewart, everything's fine. You don't have to do anything. Your ticket, your seat, everything stays exactly the same. If you want information to keep up to date on things, we encourage you to be part of the WoodSongs email newsletter. It goes out every Thursday morning. You can find out who's coming on WoodSongs, what's happening with the Troubadour Concert Series, which is moving for the next 6 years to the Kentucky Theater downtown. And so Emmylou Harris is coming, Sam Bush is coming, Tommy Emmanuel is coming, Riders in the Sky is coming, and our Kentucky favorites, Exile, is going to be in concert there as well. Matter of fact, they're going to be there the same week that KET airs a tribute to Exile. It's going to be aired that week, plus they'll be at the Kentucky Theater for the Troubadour concert. Meanwhile, WoodSongs continues to stay here. And if you're not a WoodSongs partner, you get to, WoodSongs Partners comes to all the WoodSongs for free. Can you imagine that? They got to see Daryl Mosley for free. If they were here last week, they saw Rhonda Vincent in the Rage for free, and all kinds of, John McEwen is coming. You know who he is? Do you know who he is? You need to know who he is. Have you heard the song, Will the Circle Be Unbroken? Listen, you're getting coached. She doesn't know who that is either. Have you ever heard the song, Will the Circle Be Unbroken? Will the circle be unbroken? You know that song? John McEwen helped do that song. Yeah, brought it all over the world. Can you imagine that? And he's going to be on this stage. You're not going to be here. No, maybe you will be, right? What song are you going to play for everybody?
Who Says God Is Dead, another one by Loretta.
Another Loretta Lynn song. Okay, go ahead. Ryder Bryant, 11 years old.
Who says God is dead? I'm a talking to him now. Who says God is dead? He's with us all right now. He knows every move that you make. He knows every time you make a mistake. The rumor has been spread. Who says God is dead? Who says God is dead? That stupid, mighty low. I'd like to meet him face to face and tell him it's not so. I've got my Savior by the hand. He's leading me to the promised land. No, I'm not out of my head. Who says God is dead? Who says God is dead? I'm a talking to him now. Who says God is dead? He's reaching for you now. If I were you, I'd kneel and pray, 'cause we're not promised one more day. Remember blood was shed. Who says God is dead? Who says God is dead? That stupid, mighty low. I'd like to meet him face to face and tell him it's not so. I've got my Savior by the hand. He's leading me to the promised land. No, I'm not out of my head. Who says God is dead? Who says God is dead? Who says God is dead? Who says God is dead?
Wow. That's quite a set of pipes you got in there in them lungs. You're doing good. You're doing good. So I want you to come over here to my microphone. Come over here. Ryder Bryant, 11 years old. You're going to be really something when you're 12. Okay, I'm going to let you introduce the next artist, okay? All right, so just come up here. I'm going to put my hand on your shoulder just to make sure you're by the microphone, okay? So just repeat after me. Say, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Please become WoodSongs partners.
please become WoodSongs partners
So I can come back.
so I can come back
For free.
for free.
That works. Now you're one of us, right? Say, please welcome
Please welcome
the incredible,
the incredible,
the amazing,
the amazing
Songwriter of the Year,
Songwriter of the Year,
12 number one hit songs,
12 number one hit songs,
and Songwriter of the Year award winner.
Writer of the Year
Winner.
award winner,
Yeah, you want to try that again? Songwriter of the Year award winner. That's a hard one.
Songwriter of the Year award winner.
Yeah, I'm Ryder Bryant.
I'm Ryder Bryant.
I am awesome.
I am awesome.
Good. Daryl Mosley.
Daryl Mosley.
Thank you, Ryan. Some days my back hurts for no good reason. My hands ache when the rain is coming in. It seems I'm always looking for my glasses, or dozing in my easy chair again. I see this old man every time I'm shaving, a face that I barely recognize. It's like I'm trapped in someone else's body and looking at the world through fading eyes. But I'm still here, I'm still me. Inside I'm still the boy I used to be. I still run and jump and climb through the meadows in my mind. How quickly did those days all disappear? And they're all gone, but I'm still here. Don't think that I don't see you, look right through me. Roll your eyes when I take too long. It's hurtful to be treated like a burden in a world that feels I don't belong. I traded restless youth for aging wisdom, but I think I got the raw end of the deal. Those carefree days, I took them all for granted. Now staring at the end is just surreal. 'Cause I'm still here, I'm still me. Inside I'm still the boy I used to be. I still run and jump and climb through the meadows in my mind. How quickly did those days all disappear? They're all gone, but I'm still here. So many of my old friends have finished up their race. There's nothing left but memories and stones. But me, I just keep moving at a little slower pace. 'Cause until the good Lord calls this old boy home, I'm still here, oh, I'm still me. Inside I'm still the boy I used to be. I still love and laugh and cry. We're no different, you and I. How quickly did those days turn into years? They're all gone, but I'm still here. They're all gone, I'm still here.
I got a spare room behind the barn for my Mac attack when I'm on the farm. You click it on, then you click around. See the cyber fun I found. Well, I'm a hayseed of the first degree. I'm a country boy from Tennessee.